So you are recently appointed to serve as a personal representative of the state. What should you expect now that nobody told you? Hi, I'm Deric Rangell, certified probate specialist for over 30 years, and we're going to talk to you about what you don't know. So let's get started. So I'm going to keep this fairly brief and simple because there's a lot of little micro topics that I could cover, but two things that no one's going to talk to you about that is our standard practice. We make sure we talk to everybody about this stuff, but I'd say the bulk of people don't, is first how to protect the property from squatters when it's vacant, how to do that right, and what an agency agreement is. So an agency agreement is a document that you get from the police department, and you have to sign it in the capacity that you're hired. So if you're not hired, don't just go and offer people to do a service, because you have to actually sign that you're the agent for the estate. And if you're an administrator, you should know that you're doing this either by yourself. You can sign it because you're the appointee, but an agent who you haven't hired should not be signing this paperwork. Because essentially what they're saying is they get a trespasser. The trespasser, if your paperwork is in there early, before you get a squatter, before you have a problem, if you have the paperwork filed with the law enforcement office that serves your community, anyone subsequent to that who tries to enter the property can be arrested. And what your agency agreement is an agreement that you're going to cooperate with the conviction of that trespasser. That's something nobody talks about. And the reason why I don't talk about it is because a lot of people don't see that as a problem. They don't know what happens, or they just don't have the answer on how to fix it. So of course they don't want to talk about things that they don't have the answer for. For us, every client I talk to, we have this conversation. I don't care where the property is located, high end, low end, anything that's got the potential to be vacant for any small period of time or an extended period of time needs to have this protection in place. Because if you don't, if it happens to you, you're going to want to kill yourself. It's awful. It's just squatters. There's a movie called Pacific Heights with Michael Keaton. Want to get a glimpse of how bad things can get? That's a good movie to watch. It'll scare you. But these are important things. And knowing that squatters can impact you, and knowing how bad they can impact in the state, how they can extend the administration, because when you have to do an eviction, if you're selling, now you have to deal with the squatter, boom, take out 6 months out of the calendar. You're not going to do anything until that squatter gets out. And most of them are savvy enough to answer an unlawful detainer complaint. They will even answer a forcible detainer complaint, which is a totally different thing that's more appropriate to squatters. But squatters who show that they have rental paperwork, and a lot of them will give fake documents. And when you do that, boom, sheriff's or police department comes out and they say, now you're in a civil matter, you got to do an eviction, we're out of it. So I promise you, this is something you want to know early on before you get letters, because if it happens to you, it's just an awful thing to go through, especially if you don't have the right experienced person at your side to deal with this. I've dealt with this many times. I've never not been successful at getting a squatter out. And only one time, and it was the first time it happened to me many years ago, we actually had to do the full eviction, and it came out to about $14,000 in legal fees for the eviction and the trial. So I promise you, this is something you want to avoid for your estate. If you like this information, you want to hear more about it, like and follow on the links below, subscribe on the bell, or if you want to reach out to us, our links to reach us are listed below. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks.